Good guy with a gun. He also speaks for the Gun Owners of America. Stephen Williford standing by on the live line. I appreciate him sitting through the PSL Gagathon. Hi, Stephen. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Good. Stephen Williford is not the kind of guy, I think, that goes to Starbucks for a PSL. Are you?
No, it's funny. I can't even believe that made the news cycle this morning. I heard it on my local radio station, too. And seriously? Okay, whatever.
Yep, it's a thing, though. You should see people are nuts about it. But what they should be excited about is that the FBI stole my attorney general. They stole him away.
Yeah, I'm sorry, to Missouri. I love
you're
Missouri. No, my wife is from St. Louis, Missouri. I love Missouri.
Yeah.
But I guess we all have to sacrifice, for the good. Our Attorney General here in Texas is starting to run for Senate against John Cornyn, which is, I guess, a sacrifice for the state of Texas, but we do need to get rid of John Cornyn.
Yeah. Yeah, there are just some people who are just too good to stay at the state level and need to serve higher. And I have told him that before. I always said, dude, you are destined for a higher office, because he was on my show every single month. But we're lucky to have him in the FBI because he is a staunch advocate of the Second Amendment.
Actually, yes, he is absolutely a staunch advocate for the Second Amendment. I went to GunCon in Cleveland, Ohio recently, and he was supposed to be the keynote speaker at GunCon, and the people of the venue, which was the Drill Twist in Cleveland, Ohio, was the name of the venue, and they prevented him from coming into their property. They trespassed him before he even got to speak.
Yeah, bunch of
because
weenies.
Because of his pro-Christian conservative stance.
Well,
and so,
they're lost.
That should go on his resume.
No kidding.
that he got banned because of his pro-Christian conservative stance.
I really feel like the fact that they banned him for that he has a lawsuit that he could file against them if it was worth his weight in fly poop. But they're ridiculous how they want to ban people who are different from them, but they're the accepting and different people who accept everyone and love everyone equally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
not so much.
I am so pleased that he is now, I guess,
co-deputy director.
Co-deputy director of the FBI. I think that is superb. Gun Owners of America loves him. Please, you can find us at gunowners.org. I hope he goes on to do great things with the FBI.
He will.
And like I say, I love Missouri. Missouri is one of the states that is competing for the most friendly 2A state in the nation, right behind Texas.
Well, and you know what? The person they put in behind him, Catherine Hanaway, is just as staunch of a supporter, so it's not going to change.
Well, that's most excellent.
Yeah.
Well, and again, your state, for the most part, is such a 2A state, such a good example of a 2A state, and we just really, working for Gun Owners of America, you have to realize that there's more good guys out there than there are bad guys.
Yeah, and we're gun owners. We're gun owners. And, people got mad at me the other day because there was a very mean dog kept attacking my grandchildren when they'd try to come in and out of the house. And I'm like, I'm sorry, folks, but I'm going to shoot your dog. I know you're not supposed to shoot your gun in the city limits, but I have to protect my family. And I would have every right to do so in the state of Missouri, whatever means possible to protect my family.
Yeah.
And I love that about Missouri.
Well, and I live in the Sutherland Springs, a very small community, and there was a neighbor that just wasn't taking care of his dog, and he was just absolutely. I'd get up every Monday morning when everybody put their trash out, and he would go that dog would go all the way down and dump everybody's trash can out in the streets and stuff. And that's terrible. But the community told him to do something about your dog, and when my neighbor finally called the sheriff's department and said, "Look, that dog is out there dumping everybody's trash can, and he's in my trash can right now," the sheriff basically said, "Shoot it."
Yeah. I mean,
there's no ordinance against firing in Sutherland Springs, Texas. He said, "Shoot it." My neighbor said, "If you hear that there's gunshots fired, then that's the reason." And he shot the neighbor's dog. But it was horrible to have to wake up in the morning and go pick up my trash before I went to work.
Yeah.
That the dog had scattered all the way down the street.
For me, I wouldn't shoot a dog for that, but attacking a human being is a much different thing, and it's repeatedly. But you've got to be a good animal owner. Yeah.
I didn't either, but I couldn't actually blame the neighbor for doing it because the other neighbor just let the dog go and just ignored all kinds of warnings.
Shouldn't be allowed to have an animal ever again. All right, so when we look at gun laws moving forward, do you think Patel and Bailey are going to bump heads at all?
Well, I hope not, because Patel is pretty pro-gun himself. Actually, Kash Patel at one point spoke at Goals at our national convention, too. Mm-hmm. So I would hope that they don't bump heads. I would hope that they would work in unison. And, we're getting, and of course, Dan Bongino is, pro-gun as can be also. So the three of them, I guess, are just kind of showing exactly how the FBI hopefully will start running and working. If we could only get the same pro-gun response out of the ATF,
Right.
That's the important when it comes to firearms is the ATF, and we need to get rid of a lot of the ATF policies. And after those policies are gotten rid of, we need to get rid of the ATF entirely.
Well, even here in the U.S. District Court for the Western District of Missouri, they want to ban citizens 18 to 20 from even possessing semi-automatic assault rifles. Now, I think that if they can go in the military and serve and they're using those guns in battle, I don't understand why they would say they can't have them unless they've got a criminal record. Then they're not supposed to have a gun at all. So when we start taking certain people and telling them they can't have guns when they've done nothing wrong, I have a problem with that.
First and foremost, our military doesn't use semi-automatic at all. They use full automatic. They go to foreign countries, they put them in an M1 Abrams tank, they put a full automatic M16 on them, and then when they come back to this nation, then you're trying to say you have to go through mental background checks and stuff, and then some states, they ban them altogether from owning them. The state of Texas, I don't know how Missouri is, but now the state of Texas has said 18 to 20-year-olds are actually in so they can carry constitutional in the state of Texas, whether it is a pistol on their side or a full, AR-15 down the street.
God bless Texas.
Constitutional carry means exactly that, and we even have campus carry. Now, private universities and stuff, that doesn't count for, but for any state college, UT Austin and Texas A&M and those state colleges, I remember when we passed campus carry, the dean of UT Austin said, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe you're going to let students carry on campus." we can't let this happen. And the dean of Texas A&M said, send them here. We'll take them.
Yeah. And it's funny to me how scared so many liberals are of guns in general. None of mine have ever hurt a soul, so I don't know why they're so scared of inanimate objects. If they think everyone is so mentally ill that they are not equipped to handle a firearm beyond, I don't know, a shotgun like Joe Biden used to say. But it's funny to me that they think everybody's as crazy as they are. Just because you've never fired one and you don't know anything about them, and whatever the case may be, does not mean that they are all ultimately evil. People are evil, not guns. I only have 2 minutes left here, Stephen. So you wrote a book about your situation called A Town Called Sutherland Springs, Faith and Heroism Through Tragedy. For what happened with your in 2017, which we've gone over several times on this show. You're called Hero with a Gun for a reason. But where is your book available?
You can find it at Amazon, and you made a really good point. You said none of your guns have ever harmed a human being. I only have one gun that has ever harmed a human being, and he deserved it.
Yep.
He was murdering innocent people, worshiping their God in a church. And that's the only gun that I own that ever harmed anybody, and I would say that gun didn't do it. I stopped him.
You had to. You were there for a reason that day, and I'm so glad you were, so more people didn't die. But sadly, some people did, and that evil guy with the gun was the problem, not the gun that he had. All right, so get Stephen's book if you want to read the story about what happened that day. We, again, have told it on the air many times. You can probably find the podcasts from the past, but go to Amazon and buy his new book called A Town Called Sutherland Springs, Faith and Heroism Through Tragedy. It happened in 2017, and it's still relevant today. Stephen, thank you for your time today.
Thank you so much, and God bless.
And take care of Andrew for us. Yes. Okay.